And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, IR Radio. So, however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today's a big old Sunday, folks. And yes, obviously there's no NFL on anymore on Sundays. Truly unfortunate, but the NBA is kind of taking over a little bit because we've got 4 games on today, folks. 4 nationally televised games on tonight. And we're kicking off right at 1 o'clock Eastern time, folks. So we're only going to do kind of an hour show today. We got to get out of here before 1 o'clock because there's a good game on, folks. And it's on ABC, 1 p.m. Eastern. Nets at the Celtics. And man, oh man, I cannot wait for this game. How great are Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving going to be together? Obviously, still no Ben Simmons. It's not in Brooklyn, so Kyrie can play. We know Kevin Durant's back. So how are they going to fare against this really great emerging number 2 team in the NBA, folks, according to our power rankings, the Boston Celtics? So this is going to be a great game. Cannot wait to watch it and cannot wait to see what happens. Who steps up? Can the Celtics continue their dominance, or is Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving finally going to take over and put the team on their back? Because we know it's nothing really else good on that team besides those two. So we got to get out of here before that game. We got to watch this game and see how it all shakes out. I also want to bet the game. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing today on the show. Since there are 4 prime time nationally televised games on today. We're starting at 1 o'clock ABC with Nets at the Celtics. Then we are staying at ABC for Suns and Bucks at 3:30. Then we're flipping over to ESPN at 7:30 for Raptors at the Cavs, and staying there at 10 o'clock for the Knicks and the Clippers. And can I just put this out there? Why the hell are the Knicks always on television? Can we stop this, please? I don't want to watch this garbage team anymore, okay? They're trash, they're garbage, and unfortunately we're going to have to endure another trash, garbage Knicks team tonight against the Clippers. So, little bit of a betting special today. We'll break down the NBA from last night and see how we can make money while we watch the games. Making money just to watch basketball, watch sports, we can make money while doing so. Sign me up. Why didn't nobody ever tell me that I could do this, that I could make money while watching sports? Well, we're going to have you covered, folks. So we're going to break down all the matchups today, go a little bit maybe more in-depth into some prop bets for the nationally televised games, and have ourselves a nice kind of NBA Sunday. It's not an NFL Sunday. It's not a football Sunday, but this is going to have to do, folks. A nice basketball NBA Sunday here all day long. Something's got to help us pass the time on these lonely Sundays for the next 7 months. So this is what we got. This is what we're going to be working with. So let's get excited. Let's get pumped up. But before we kind of look into the future of how we can make money today while watching basketball, let's break down the NBA from last night, where we did have one bet going, folks. We had one bet going and we hit it. Bingo, bango. So if you're a little hesitant, first time tuning into the show, you're like, oh, you're telling me I can make money, but who are you? Who are you? Can you make money? What's your track record? Well, we just hit 1 for 1 last night, baby. We are back, folks. Yes, well, we never really left, but we are here. That is the overall message. We are here, and we know what is good value, what is not. So let's get right into it with the games from last night. So here we go. First game up, we got the Kings at the Mavericks, and when we were talking about this game live yesterday, it was what was it, about 1:30ish, or probably around. All right, here it is. Around like 12:30 when the line was being announced. It was Luka Doncic, a game-time decision, and it was Mavericks -7 at that point, a couple hours before tip-off. No Luka Doncic, and the line slides all the way to Mavericks -4.5 still. I thought that was a real interesting spread. Without Luka Doncic, I would have brought that all the way down to, like, Kings -3, you know what I mean? But it stayed at Mavericks -4.5, but they only win by 1, couldn't cover it. And we know this Mavs team, I mean, they got no leadership without Luka Doncic. They have no identity without Luka Doncic, but they still do have that great three-point shooting, and that's what helped the Mavericks win last night. The Kings were dominating all game long, but that fourth quarter, the Mavericks dug in and ended up getting that nice one-point win, winning 114-113. So, well done for the Mavericks of holding it down without Luka Doncic. We'll get to our disappointment in the Kings in a second, but let's celebrate the Mavericks from last night. No Luka Doncic, so we have Jalen Brunson at the 1 and Spencer Dinwiddie in the starting lineup, folks. Newly acquired from the trade, and Spencer Dinwiddie, folks, in the starting lineup. I think this is the first game he started for this Mavericks team. 36.7 assists, folks. 36 points. Sheesh. Man, oh man. That's how you make an impression. That's how you make a statement. Yeah, you made the right decision to trade for me. Well done. So Spencer Dinwiddie had himself a night. Jalen Brunson, 23.6 assists at the 1. We had Dorian Finney-Smith, 17.6 rebounds, and then Reggie Bullock in the starting lineup, 11 big old points. Dwight Powell, the 5, nothing spectacular, 6.7 rebounds. Once again, the bigs, that's not the Mavericks game. They don't want to give the bigs any shots. He had 5 shots. Dwight Powell at the 5 had 5 shots. They're not going down low, folks. This is not a in the paint, in your face team. 3-point shooters. That's what they do with Luka Doncic. That's their identity. Without Luka Doncic, that is also their identity. So no great big play here by the Mavericks. Once again, going counter to our narrative of this is a bigs world, but it's working, so we can't knock it too much. And then coming off the bench, Josh Green, 12 points, 12 rebounds, and Davis Bertans, 7 points on 5 shots. All right, we want to see Davis Bertans shoot a little bit more, but overall, Spencer Dinwiddie was like, just give me the ball, I'll score, and that's exactly what he did. So, well done for the Mavericks of no Luka Doncic, no problem. That's pretty gosh dang good. All right, and then for the Kings, man, oh man, Sabonis loses a game against the Mavericks team without Luka Doncic. Can somebody say classic Sabonis? And classic Sabonis has transferred into the Kings organization, so now it is classic Kings out here. Truly unfortunate. De'Aaron Fox tried his damnedest, but, you know, Sabonis is literally ruining these players, ruining these great names, because Sabonis, there's just something about him that never wins you the game. Good performances. He was a +1 on the floor, and you lose the game. Great performance, +20 on the floor, and you still lose the game. Awful performance, -23 on the floor, and you still lose the game. So, however you slice it, Sabonis is just not a winner. He's not a winning player. That's what it is. He's just not a winning player. And, you know, in a sport where you need to win, that's a little crucial. So, classic Sabonis turning into classic Kings out here. De'Aaron Fox, man oh man, tried his damnedest. 44.6 assists. The man shot 58% on 31 shots, and it still was not enough to be a Luka Doncic-less Mavericks team. Oh, it's literally infuriating, folks. I am outraged. I am outraged that this Kings team and Pacers team are so lackluster and so against winning games. I can't take it anymore, folks. And that's where we are with the Kings and the Pacers. Sabonis, Halliburton, Buddy Hield. Zero factors on their team in these games. Oh man. But Mavericks get the win, folks, by 1 point, winning 114-113. All right, next game up here is the Spurs at the Hornets, and this is the game that we bet on. Hornets -4. They win by 6. Bingo, bango. Close game all throughout, but the Hornets pulled through at the late fourth quarter. About 5 minutes is really kind of when they put it on and really kind of didn't miss a shot down the stretch. So, well done for the Hornets of sticking with it and winning a game that they should have won last night. So, and this was real interesting because y'all were taking the points because at game time, the line dropped from Hornets -4 to Hornets -3.5. So y'all were liking the value with the Spurs going against us. You go against the king, you get a knife in the back. And, you know, that's unfortunate. You go against the takes by fans, you know, you're going to lose your bet most of the time. So, you know, kind of listen to us a little bit. Maybe a lot of it, but back to the game here. Spurs get the loss by 6, losing 123 to 117. Let's start here with the Hornets first since they got the win. LaMelo Ball, 24 points, 7 assists, 8 rebounds. Yes, sir, LaMelo Ball. This is what we love from him. Points, led the team in scoring, facilitating the floor, decent percentage shooting-wise, shooting 43%. It's solid work out there by LaMelo Ball. We had Terry Rozier, 31 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds on 6 of 8 from the 3. Yes, sir. Scary Terry hours are back at the Hornets, folks. Love it. Mason Plumlee doing his thing, only 4 points. We know he's not ball dominant, getting a nice 13 rebounds. But once again, Mason Plumlee, a -4 on the floor. Like we know, Mason Plumlee is kind of the worst player in this starting lineup, and we really wish they would have made a move for a kind of number 1 big. We still got Montrezl Harrell, and he still gives us great work. 15 points, 6 rebounds off the bench in only 16 minutes, folks. We love Montrezl Harrell. Really, it's tough to put him in the starting lineup because he is only 6'8", a little bit of a shorter big, but he is resilient, and he's a perfect bench piece. We really just wish the Hornets really upgraded. Like, if they got Sabonis, maybe they should have traded for Sabonis. We don't love Sabonis, but maybe with this Hornets team, it would have worked out a little bit, but, we don't really know because wherever Sabonis goes, he's just a loser, so it's unfortunate. But Terry Rozier got it done. Mason Plumlee, 13 rebounds. Absolutely love that. PJ Washington, 15 points. And Miles Bridges, a nice 10 points. And then off the bench, folks, sheesh, yes, sir. Cody Martin, 12 points. And this man was hitting some clutch shots to kind of keep the score big and to cover our -4 spread. So we appreciate Cody Martin hitting some nice free throws late in the fourth quarter, making a nice jump shot. So 12 points, 4 rebounds for Cody Martin off the bench. We had Montrezl Harrell, like we said, 15 points, 7 rebounds, a +7 in 16 minutes. Yes, sir. And then Kelly Oubre Jr., 12 points. Not efficient, shooting 25% on 12 shots, but giving us double-digit points. We will absolutely take that. So just enough for the Hornets to get the win last night. And then for the Spurs, DeJounte Murray, 25 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds. Sheesh, almost a triple-double for the kid. Gotta love it. We had Devin Vassell, 14 points, a little lackluster scoring the ball. But Keldon Johnson stepping up big time, 33 points, 8 rebounds, led the team in scoring. And then Jakob Poeltl, 11 points, 5 rebounds, a little bit of a lackluster game by him. I mean, this was supposed to be your game. Jakob Poeltl versus Mason Plumlee. I'm taking Jakob Poeltl all day long, but a little lackluster last night by only having 5 rebounds. And usually we can kind of count on him for about 15 to 20 plus points, and he only gave us 11 last night. So Spurs, just kind of a mediocre team, and mediocrity showed up last night, and they weren't able to beat the Hornets, losing 123 to 117. All right, next game up here is the 76ers at the Heat, and man, oh man, 76ers on the back-to-back did not look good. And what did we just say yesterday on the show, folks? We could potentially be seeing the starting cracks of the 76ers team because they are kind of going the distance every single game, and the big old fatigue factor that we do have to worry about with Joel Embiid. Joel fatigue, we've seen that in the playoffs appear, and now on back-to-back nights, no James Harden playing. A little disappointed in that. I understand kind of injury management and load management. You don't want to kind of, they've got, NBA championship kind of aspirations. You don't kind of want to, blow a season because you want to be competitive in a back-to-back regular season game. So I do understand it from that aspect. But, once again, that longevity, you're going to have to, practice your endurance, practice this conditioning. So James Harden not playing last night, I didn't love it. And Joel Embiid kind of not being 100% fantastic, and the 76ers kind of getting blown out by the Heat last night. Just didn't love it altogether. We are going to give, the 76ers a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because it was a back-to-back, but still didn't love that they were this non-competitive against the Heat. So Heat absolutely blow them out 99 to 82. Let's start here with the Heat. This is their starting lineup last night. Basically, the usual suspects just without Kyle Lowry still out. So, Gabe Vincent at the 1, Duncan Robinson at the 2, Jimmy Butler at the 3, PJ Tucker at the 4, and Bam Adebayo at the 5. So, Gabe Vincent filling in for Kyle Lowry, 16 points, 2 assists. Yeah, a little light, but a little Kyle Lowry-esque. We had Jimmy Butler doing his thing, 21 points, 5 assists. Duncan Robinson doing his classic thing, 6 points on 2 of 4 from the 3. Okay. Duncan Robinson, I'm seeing through the fraudulence, folks. I don't buy into Duncan Robinson like everybody else does. And once again, the stats, Duncan Robinson is the Kirk Cousins of the NBA, folks, honestly. Like good overall stats that look good, but nothing meaningful and impactful, meaningful games, folks. So I don't buy Duncan Robinson, but and I can't wait till Victor Oladipo comes back so we can finally get Duncan Robinson out of the starting lineup. Truly. So Duncan Robinson only 6 points last night. Bam Adebayo 6 points, 10 rebounds. But then the bench, folks. Tyler Hero 21 points, fantastic. Caleb Martin 14 points, and then even Max Strus 9.7 rebounds. We will take that. So this Heat team, yes sir, reclimbing that ladder to potentially grab that kennel nickname back. That's what they're striving for. And they've been close. Remember that Bucks game, blowing the lead in the fourth quarter. Inches away from giving them their nickname back. Still have to work for it a little bit, but this is a nice kind of second step here of trying to earn that kennel nickname back to prove that they are truly the top dogs, big dogs in the NBA. All right, and then for the 76ers, Joel Embiid, he did still have 22 points and 15 rebounds, but he only shot 26%, made a living from the free throw line, and we have seen this a little bit by Joel Embiid over the last, few games ever since the All-Star break. Joel Embiid making a living at the free throw line. 14 of his 22 points came at the free throw line. Now, we will give this man credit for going 14 of 14 at the free throw line. That's fantastic. But once again, the fatigue, not getting those whistles in the playoffs, I don't want to say this, but folks, I just wanted to be noted out here once again that the 76ers, folks, we just crowned them as our NBA champions at the All-Star break, but the fatigue factor, did we factor that in enough when we were walking through the schedule of the playoffs? I don't know, folks. We don't want to overreact and we don't want to assume, but potentially bad news here for the 76ers. What is their endurance? I don't know, folks. So, Joel Embiid, 22 points, 15 rebounds on 26% shooting. Tobias Harris, only 16 points, 8 rebounds. Tyrese Maxey, he had 17 points, but only 1 assist, not facilitating the floor. Matisse Thybulle with no points. Furkan Korkmaz with 2 points. So, everything just so lackluster without James Harden on the floor. Was it no James Harden, or was it the back-to-back? Maybe a little bit of both mixed together, but whatever it was, we did not like it at all. So, man, oh man, 76ers only put up 82 points and get blown out by 17, losing 99-82. All right, next game up here, we got the Magic at the Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies absolutely blow out the Magic like they should have. Grizzlies win 124-96. For the Grizzlies, we got John Morant, 25 points, 7 assists. Desmond Bane, 24 big old points. Yes, sir. Jaren Jackson Jr., 13 points. Steven Adams, once again, only 4 points on 100% shooting, because that's what he does, folks. 2 of 2 from the field. Not ball dominant, all that. We love that by Steven Adams. And then coming off the bench, we got John Contra, 2 points, but he did have 11 rebounds. Shout out to that man. And then Tyus Jones, 14 points, and Brandon Clark, 11 points, 8 rebounds, helping out the Grizzlies. And then for the Magic, Cole Anthony, he did have 19 points. We give him credit for that. 4 assists, solid overall, but not enough, not above and beyond, not kind of A1 tier 1 level of play out here. So Cole Anthony still need better out of him. Franz Wagner, 15 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. He was efficient, 3 of 4 from the 3, 66% on 9 shots. Just everybody else didn't get the memo here. And then we had Mo Bamba for 10 points, but only 4 boards. Off the bench for the Magic, we had Moritz Wagner. Once again, the Wagner twins truly showing out here. Maybe the Wagner twins are truly the best thing about this Heat team, because it's really not Cole Anthony, unfortunately. So Moritz Wagner, 17 points, 11 rebounds. Ignas Brazdeikis, 12 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, also coming off the bench, pretty solid. And then once again, Markelle Fultz increasing his minutes every single game, 19 points coming off the bench, 6 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Once again, getting acclimated to basketball and being out on the floor, but this Magic team has a long way to go before they start to be competitive, especially against, one of the best teams in the league, the Grizzlies. So Grizzlies get a much-needed dominant 28-point win, winning 124-96. All right, next game up here, we got the Blazers at the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves do their thing, winning 135-121 for the Timberwolves last night. Once again, no Anthony Edwards, so it's just a little bit of a big 2 out there. But D'Angelo Russell, 14 points, 15 rebounds. Yes, sir, fantastic. Karl Anthony Towns, 36 points, 15 rebounds. Yes, sir, absolutely fantastic. And the man shot 100% from the field, just missed four threes. That's where all of his shots were missed from. So well done for Karl Anthony Towns being super efficient last night. Unfortunately, the 3-point champion couldn't hit a 3-pointer last night. A little odd. But also we had Jaden McDaniels helping out, 16 points, 9 rebounds. Jared Vanderbilt, 14.7 rebounds. Jalen Noel coming off the bench, 22 points. And now let's also shout out to Ron Prince, 9 big old points off the bench as well. So no Patrick Beverly for the Timberwolves. No Anthony Edwards, and they were still able to get production from their other role players, from their other bench players. So once again, this Timberwolves team is just continuing to climb into the great respect of being competitive. And once again, they are the 7th seed, but are making their way into the top 6 to no longer be in the play-in tournament. Now only 2 games back from that number 6 seed. So we've been super impressed by this Timberwolves team. 4-game winning streak, 7-3 in their last 10, and they are just clawing their way into the thick of it of the NBA playoffs. And once again, this is why we do have the Timberwolves very highly ranked on our NBA power rankings. We've got them at number 9, folks. Nets aren't even on the top 10. Warriors aren't even on the top 10. They're a seed above the Heat, folks. I mean, we really have to legitimize this Timberwolves team. Once again, another team in the national media that doesn't give all the love and recognition that they truly deserve. Once again, we are a little bit always a week earlier than what the overall media narratives and points are. So watch out for the Pelicans to be mentioned this upcoming week. Watch for the Timberwolves to be mentioned this upcoming week, because we've been on them for like the last 2 weeks. So it's about time the national media catches up. Yes. All right, and then for the Blazers last night, once again, no Nurkic. It's just too much to overcome. So we still have Drew Eubanks filling in at the 5, and he had a pretty solid night. 13 points on 85% shooting and 8 rebounds to go along with that. Pretty well done. Anthony Simons still doing his thing. 38 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. He's the best player on this team now. And then also in the starting lineup, we had Keon Johnson with a nice 15.5 assist performance. And even off the bench for the Blazers, they truly got it done as well. Brandon Williams, 21 points out of absolutely nowhere. Ben McLemore, 13 points. And then Trendon Watford, 12 points, 14 rebounds coming off the bench. So the Blazers, they put up 121 points, and that was really gosh dang good. Well done for Anthony Simons to truly keep this team together, even though they've lost literally 2/3 of their big 3 of Anthony Simons, CJ McCollum, and Nurkic out there. So I give big credit to this Blazers team and Anthony Simons of still being competitive, given what they've really gone through at the trade deadline and really just this whole season in general. So shout out to the Blazers for being decently competitive and putting up 121 points. Just unfortunately, the Timberwolves a little bit better at the current moment. So Timberwolves get the win, 135-121. All right, and then the last game of the night here, Warriors at the Lakers, and the Lakers come back in the second half and win the game. Holy moly. All righty, Lakers are not going down easy, folks. And now, once again, do you understand why we don't have the Warriors in the top 10? I don't care that they have the name Curry. I don't care that they have the name Klay Thompson, because it's not all coming together to transform into wins. They need some sort of good big play, and they don't have have any. Once again, the Warriors, this is a big world. The only team that is getting it done actively without a good big is the Mavericks, folks. The Celtics even have good bigs. We don't love their bigs, but they are getting it done. Shout out to Robert Williams, who we do like. We do like the man. And shout out to Al Horford. Literally all the teams in the top 10, the Jazz with Rudy Gobert, the Celtics with Robert Williams and Al Horford, the 76ers, obviously Joel Embiid, the Suns, DeAndre Ayton, the Grizzlies, they've got Steven Adams. And shout out to Steven Adams. Yes, he's not an offensive dominant big, but he's a great defensive big, and he fits exactly what this Grizzlies team needs. So yes, even the Grizzlies have a good big. The Bucks, obviously they got Giannis, Bobby Portis, and Brook Lopez, who hasn't been playing all year long. We got the Pelicans with Valanciunas, absolutely fantastic, and Zion if he ever decides to come back. The Mavericks, they don't. The Timberwolves have Karl Anthony Towns. The Heat have Bam Adebayo. The Mavericks are really the only team that can get away with no good, great, big offense or defensive lead, folks. The Warriors, you had your time. It's done. It's fizzled out. You must get Draymond Green back at the minimum to start being back competitive. This is a big world, Warriors, and unfortunately at the current moment you've got no big, and you lose against a bad Lakers team. You lose when you had a lead, and you lose in the fourth quarter to LeBron dropping 56 points. Once again, LeBron could be the big. LeBron, can sometimes be the big. He plays the 4, he plays the 5, he can be the big. The Lakers do have a big when LeBron James decides to be the big. So once again, the Warriors, they're not top 10 worthy. If anybody has the Warriors currently in the top 10, I don't think you should be taking them seriously, folks. It's just name recognition of why the Warriors would be in the top 10. Let me quickly see. I think did Sports Center? Let's see this. When was the last time Sports Center updated their NBA power rankings? I want to see what Sports Center is saying about their top 10, folks. Let me see if I can bring it up quickly. Let's scroll through their Twitter. A lot of LeBron love. UFC last night. I didn't watch it, but a lot of people were a little disappointed in the UFC, I believe, last night, the main event. It seemed like it was a little bit of a hug fest. That's what I gathered from what everybody was saying yesterday about the fight. So, went the distance, went 5 rounds decision. Colby ended up winning by unanimous decision, but it seemed like he was clinching a lot. I saw somebody put it as crotch hugging all night. So, yeah. All right. Do we got power rankings here? I see some lists. I scrolled by a list. All right. Do we got power? How long do I got to scroll for power rankings? I mean, we're going back to February 28th. Let's go to NBA on ESPN. Let's see. I just want to see some power rankings because I don't know if I've seen the power rankings for this week. I know what ours are, but I don't know what kind of the national media's talking points are for the top 10 at the current moment. So I just want to see currently, once again, there's really no way, there's no reason the Warriors should be in the top 10 at all. And I kind of want to hold some people accountable a little bit if you've got them in the top 10 because it's a little absurd. What do we got? Come on. That's all I'm trying to see is power rankings. That's it. A little bit of power, a little bit of rankings. Where are they? Where are they? Do I got to go to Instagram? Did they put it on Instagram? I don't follow any sports on Instagram. I hate that format. But let's see. What are we going? Now we're going back to March 2nd, 4 days ago. Usually come out about Thursday, Fridays. Usually when people in the national media give them out. I'm really struggling to find power rankings. That's all I want to find. What if I go to ESPN's website? They got anything on their website? Let's take a little tour here, folks. I know, taking a little bit longer than I thought it would, but we've got a little bit of time in today's show. A little bit of more time. But here we go. Standings. I just want to see power rankings. That's home NBA power rankings. Where are we? Where are we at? You would think power rankings. I mean, that's like one of the major things to talk about in the NBA, power rankings. I mean, really, power rankings are huge in every single sport. You would think it'd be like, hey, here's the power rankings, pushing it out. I'm not seeing it, though. Wow, truly unfortunate. All right, last place we're going to check here is quickly Instagram. Let's go to Sports Center Instagram. All right, is the voice still on? All right. All right. Here we go. All right. Can y'all hear me still? Oh, yeah. It's, I don't know why volume in my headphones went down. Okay. But it seems like the volume is still there. But here we go. Instagram for SportsCenter. Let's try to get it back on track here. Okay. Come on. We're just trying to find power rankings. That's it. And, okay, so we're done with this. But regardless of whatever it is, folks, regardless of these power rankings, if anybody has the Warriors in the top 10, you can't take them seriously, folks. That's just, unfortunately, the way the cookie crumbles, okay? So here we go. All right, back to what we were trying to do. The Warriors, yes, getting absolutely a little kind of dominated in the fourth quarter. A little embarrassing for the Warriors last night, losing 124-116 against LeBron and the Lakers, and it's really just LeBron. But LeBron James last night, 56 points, 10 rebounds. Sheesh, man, oh man, shot 61%, 6 of 11 from 3. The King was truly feeling himself last night, and here it is, LeBron James at the starting 5. Big LeBron. LeBron, you're just going to have to turn into the big for the rest of the year because obviously no Anthony Davis for probably the remainder of the season. Or maybe not, but even if he does come back, I mean, how long is he going to be able to stay healthy before he gets kind of railroaded with injuries again? So, LeBron, you might just want to kind of camp at the 5 for the rest of the season because that's probably where you're going to be playing. So, LeBron, 56 points, 10 rebounds, double-double on 56 points on efficient as heck shooting. Sheesh. Fantastic. We get Malik Monk, solid performance, 12 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. Would have liked to be just a little bit better. We really need Malik Monk in 20-plus point scoring every single night. Now, a little bit of granted because obviously LeBron dropped 56, so points are coming at a premium for everybody else. So we still give Malik Monk his credit. Shot 40%, still it's solid, not bad, not great. So it's an overall solid performance by Malik Monk, but if the Lakers do have kind of the hopes and dreams of kind of not being in the play-in tournament at the end of the season and truly making a little bit of a respectful playoff run, we are going to have to see Malik Monk be a little bit more of a producer offensively for this Lakers team. But overall last night, good performance. And then we get Russell Westbrook, 20 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. He was a plus 13 on the floor. LeBron's a plus 13 on the floor. Once again, all that kind of hate that Russell Westbrook gets, we don't participate in it, and we don't really believe it should be as prevalent as it truly is. So shout out to Russell Westbrook, 20 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Still had 5 turnovers, but still a plus 13 on the floor. LeBron had 4 turnovers, still a plus 13 on the floor. Let's start respecting Russell Westbrook a little bit more. It's getting a little bit out of hand. Everybody's writing stories about maybe Frank Vogel using Russell Westbrook, bringing him off the bench and all that. Let's not get crazy now, okay? Russell Westbrook does not deserve to come off the bench. Now, that is true big-time disrespect. Let's not go there, okay? And then Austin Reeves, also nice 10-point performance in the starting lineup. We will absolutely take that. And then Carmelo Anthony doing classic Carmelo Anthony things. 14 points, 8 rebounds coming off the bench, 2 of 3 from the 3, 62% on 8 shots. We will absolutely take that. So, well done for the Lakers last night, and well done to stick with it. I mean, they were down at halftime. They were down. I mean, what was the biggest lead? Like 12 for the Warriors? 12 to maybe even more. Maybe have been like 17. Can we see what their biggest lead was? We get that quickly. Not seeing it quickly, but either way, folks, it was about maybe 15, 17 point biggest lead at one point for the Warriors. And for this Lakers team, I mean, the media, hounding on this Lakers team being bad and all that. The Lakers just could have easily kind of mailed it in for the rest of the game. All right, we're getting blown out. No sense of trying to come back, but the King puts his crown on, goes to work, and stays the course and gets the win. So a nice, huge win for the Lakers. We'll take it with a little bit of a grain of salt that it is the Warriors overall, but still, a win's a win, taking care of business. We can never knock that. All right, and then for the Warriors last night, Steph Curry, 30 points, 4 of 9 from the 3, pretty solid overall. Klay Thompson, only 7 points on 1 of 5 from the 3, and this is this is a little bit of maybe what we potentially were a little bit of afraid of out here. Klay Thompson, after kind of the 2 back-to-back injuries, keeping him out for 2+ years, not returning to the greatness that we all know Klay Thompson was in his prime before the injuries. And now 23% shooting, 7 points, not helping out Steph Curry, his splash brother out here. And that's a kind of a huge reason why they lost last night. Also, Andrew Wiggins not going above and beyond. I mean, where's the 20+ point performance by Andrew Wiggins that we were seeing before the All-Star break, before he was announced an All-Star? Ever since he, was kind of really announced an All-Star after the All-Star break, the man's been truly letting us down big time. This Warriors team is floundering in more areas than just the big. It is Klay Thompson, a little bit unfortunate. He's got a little bit more of a bigger pass than everybody else does. And then Andrew Wiggins also letting us down as well. So, man, oh man, 14 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds for Andrew Wiggins, still a -12 on the floor, not great. Kevon Looney at the 5, nothing great, 12 minutes, 0 points, 4 rebounds. Off the bench, Jordan Poole, always reliable, 23 points, 4 of 8 from the 3. And then Jonathan Kuminga, who's been truly solid all year long, 18 points, 5 rebounds. And that's really kind of the Warriors' saving grace out here. Is there depth? Is there consistent depth? Jonathan Kuminga and Jordan Poole are really very consistent and always giving us 15+ point performances coming off the bench, regardless if Andrew Wiggins is playing good or bad, regardless if Klay Thompson's playing good or bad. And with the Warriors not having a good big, the depth is making them a little bit more competitive than really what they truly are. So, well done for the Warriors, but still coming up short at the end of the day, unfortunately for the Warriors, and once again, why they cannot be in the top 10. They cannot be in the top 10, folks. Alrighty, so the Lakers get the win 124-116. Alrighty, that was all the NBA from last night. Now let's get into how we can make money today, tonight, all day long, folks, because we got an NBA Sunday. We're all used to NFL Sundays, but since the NFL is over, folks, the NBA is like, oh, that's a nice market you got there. A full day of sports? Yeah, why don't we mosey over here and set up shop on a nice Sunday? And that's exactly what they're doing. We got 4 nationally televised games on all day long, starting at 1 o'clock with the Nets and the Celtics. Then we're going to 3:40 at the Suns at the Bucks. Then we're going to 7:40 at the Raptors and the Cavs, and ending at 10:10 Knicks at the Clippers. So true all day basketball, folks. And what better way to put a little bit of a cherry on this Sunday? Yes, folks, you staying with me? Put a cherry on top of this Sunday of making money while watching the game. So let's talk about the spreads. Let's talk about how we can make some money. And once we kind of predict all these games here, man, oh man, there's a lot of games. If we still have time in the show, we will go a little bit deeper into prop bets for the nationally televised games. But here we go. Let's start breaking them down. In the first one up here, folks, the 1 o'clock game on ABC, Nets at the Celtics. Now, Nets on the road, so we get Kyrie Irving playing. We get Kevin Durant back, so those two will be out there. But Ben Simmons is still out, not ready to make his debut. So Nets +6, Celtics -6. Nets +6 is truly enticing, folks, and I'm not gonna lie, I really want to take that, but the Vegas putting the line like this, Celtics -6, even though they know Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are gonna be out there on the floor, it seems like Vegas is still believing big time in the Celtics, which is great because we have this team as number 2 in our NBA power rankings. So we truly believe in the Celtics. We don't have the Celtics or the Nets in the top 10 in our power rankings, so that tells you the disparity of the team and the fact that it's a 6-point spread like right here. Vegas is kind of confident in the Celtics, which is kind of keeping me from truly buying into the Nets +6. And then for the Celtics, everybody's good to go besides Aaron Nesmith. So we're getting Jaylen Brown back. And we saw the Celtics team be absolutely fantastic without Jaylen Brown. So here we go. I want to take the Nets +6. Optically, that looks like great value. But then seeing what the spread is, knowing that Vegas making the spread like this, not really kind of, it is kind of enticing with the Nets +6. I think that may be the sucker value, the trap value there. We know this Celtics team is good. They dig down. Shout out to the head coach. Marcus Smart can facilitate the floor. They've got depth with Derek White now, and with Jaylen Brown back, folks, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum back at it, they'll be able to kind of carry it here. So I know Nets +6 looks truly like enticing value, but I don't think it is going to be at the end of the day. Everything else on that Nets team is not good at all. Seth Curry's pretty solid. Andre Drummond's pretty solid. They've got no depth at all here, and it's going to be Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving trying to carry it. Once again, they haven't played that much together. The rhythm, the chemistry, the leadership is all going to be off there, where the Celtics team is as tight as they come, folks. So I'm going to swallow the 6 here for the Celtics and watch this Celtics team continue to be one of the best teams in the NBA. Man, oh man. But I know, folks, I'm telling you, Nets +6 is truly enticing, folks, but we know how Vegas plays it. We know how great this Celtics team is, and, if you're going to take the Nets +6, you're just truly relying on Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving to go absolutely manic here. Now, what I do want to bet on, though, so we are taking the Celtics -6, but there is a pretty solid prop bet for this game that I do want to kind of touch upon quickly here. And it's got good value, and that's kind of why I want to bring it up here. It's Kyrie Irving's 3-pointers right here. Kyrie Irving over 2.5 threes is at +115, folks. I love that value of this prop bet. I bet this personally before the show here, folks, so we're endorsing it here. We like the Celtics to win. Kyrie Irving's obviously, they're going to have to, have some points here. They're going to have to score. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are going to be scoring points. Kyrie Irving makes almost like 3 threes every single game, and it's and he hasn't played in a while, so every time he steps on the floor, he wants to kind of shoot, he wants to score, wants to get all of his frustration of not being to play the home games, get that out on the floor and look good every single game that he can play on the floor. So Kyrie Irving over 2.5 threes at +115. If this was just a classic -110, I wouldn't have taken it, but the value here is truly absolutely fantastic at +115. So we are endorsing that, and there's the information for y'all to bet that. All right, here we go. Next game up, once again, the second game on the doubleheader today on ABC. We got the Suns at the Bucks, and Bucks -8.5, and this one's been lowering all morning long. When I woke up early this morning, it was Bucks -9.5, and it has dropped a full point. So y'all are betting the Suns here, okay? But Chris Paul is obviously still out, and Devin Booker is out, and Cameron Johnson is out. Why are those outs big? Well, Chris Paul obviously the facilitator, Devin Booker obviously the scorer, and Cameron Johnson was kind of the backup scorer because the man, did y'all just not watch the man single-handedly beat the Knicks their last game in the fourth quarter with his manic threes in that game-winning buzzer beater three? So no Cameron Johnson, no Devin Booker. Who's going to be putting up the points here for the Suns, folks? I don't know. Cameron Payne? Is he going to be able to go for 30? And then who's going to kind of play number 2? Who's going to play second fiddle? Is it going to be McCall Bridges? Is DeAndre Ayton finally going to go for kind of like a Bam Adebayo 25-plus point a game night? It's going to be tough going against Bucks beefy down low games. So I don't know, folks. I don't understand why y'all are betting the Suns with the points here. They are truly reliant on kind of their main superstars, and I don't know if they're going to have any kind of identity on the floor without Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Cameron Johnson. So those are the outs for the Suns. And then for the Bucks, Brooke Lopez is still out, and Pat Connaughton is still out as well. So they're not going to have that good depth for the Bucks. But at the end of the day, it's going to be Giannis and company going down low, doing their Bucks thing. This Bucks team able to close out games in the fourth quarter, which has been pretty good as well. The Suns, I get it. They're a great team, one of the better teams in the NBA, but without those main three scorers, really that's what it is. They're not even their main three players. It's their top three scorers right there, folks. I don't know if the Suns are going to be able to overcome that on the road on a nationally televised game here. So I'm going to take the Bucks minus 8.5. The value keeps dropping, so thank y'all for giving us better value out here. I may even kind of hold off on betting this game up until maybe like 3 o'clock. We got tip off at 3:40, but if y'all are kind of driving down the value by a whole point value, folks, I may kind of hold out for it to keep dropping even more, like the 7.5, 7. You get me Bucks minus 7. Yeah, I'm gobbling that up all day long. So Bucks minus 8.5, we will endorse it, but I think we would kind of advise to hold off. Seems like the natural trend is everybody taking the points with the Suns, but no Cameron Johnson. No thank you for me. We'll take the Bucks minus the points, whatever it is. All the way up. Let me put it like this. I'm taking the Bucks minus the points, whatever it is, all the way up to Bucks minus 9.5. So if they win by 10 or more, we're not going to get caught on any hooks like that. So we do endorse the Bucks all the way up to Bucks minus 9.5. I don't think it's going to get back up that high, but if it does, we will endorse it. And if it keeps going down, yes, sir, give us that. All right, here we go. Next game up, we got the Pacers at the Wizards. Pacers plus 2.5, Wizards minus 2.5 here. This is not on television. Kind of, thank goodness, yes. So for the Pacers, we get Miles Turner still out, and Goga Badazi is a game-time decision. And for the Wizards, we get, folks, Porzingis, a game-time decision. Well, I am really kind of truly curious to see how Kristaps Porzingis fills in on this Wizards team, and if they can kind of, have a little bit of a resurgence on their team overall of trying to make it, into the playoffs and all that. We saw this Wizards team hold the number 1 spot for a very brief moment early on in the season when Bradley Beal was there. So we'll see if Kristaps Porzingis can play. But Pacers plus 2.5. We know there's absolutely no bettability on this Pacers team. Classic Pacers always. Wizards minus 2.5 is probably the better play, but we will stay away from it just because it is kind of two lackluster teams overall, and we've already got games selected that are better value. So we don't need to kind of reach and bet on some two potentially really bad teams out here, but truly I am curious to see if what Porzingis looks like on this Wizards team. But we will stay away from betting Pacers-Wizards. All right, next game up, we got the Grizzlies at the Rockets. Grizzlies on the back-to-back, so we stay away from that. We do not bet back-to-backs. Then we get the Jazz at the Thunder. Jazz minus 13.5. Thunder plus 13.5. All righty, this Thunder team kind of ran out of their magic with just Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in their last meeting getting absolutely smacked by the Timberwolves by 37 points. But for the Jazz, Mike Conley is out. And for the Thunder, we get Luguentz Dort still out, Josh Giddey still out, and Aaron Wiggins a game-time decision. So usual suspects out for the Thunder, so it's just going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander out there by his lonesome, and like we said, we just saw that kind of crumble in their last meeting. So Jazz minus 13.5 is the play here, but we will stay away from it. Once again, no Mike Conley. This Jazz team just got kind of, handled a little bit by the Pelicans, and once again, we called that. The Pelicans are a great team, but we'll watch the Jazz kind of get the revenge, but we'll stay away from this big spread. No reason to kind of there's no reason to bet this game, honestly. We've got other great value. We don't need to push anything, folks. We're already kind of set, and with these two overall better values than Jazz minus 13.5. Alrighty, next game up here, we got the Raptors at the Cavs in the nationally televised games. Raptors at the Cavs. Alrighty, this Raptors team going through a hell of a stretch here, folks. Just absolutely not looking great. Most of it is because of the injuries, so let's check out who's in and who's out for this Raptors team. So we get Fred VanVleet, a game time decision. OG Anunoby is out, and Malachi Flynn is also a game time decision. So if Fred VanVleet doesn't play, Malachi Flynn usually fills in for him at the one, but they are both game time decisions. So if they both don't play, ooh, that's big time yikes right there. Now, the spread is kind of showing me that Fred VanVleet will play. If there was no Fred VanVleet, I would say this Raptors team is probably Raptors plus 7-ish. So the fact that it's only Raptors plus 4, it does seem like Vegas is assuming that Fred VanVleet is going to be playing. So we will kind of, think of it on that level. And then for the Cavs, we get Karis LeVert, a game-time decision. Also, Rondo is also a game-time decision. So, love having Karis LeVert back. This Raptors team going a little bit through a slump at the current moment. And even if Fred VanVleet does play, once again, getting that kind of rhythm and chemistry back for the Raptors team overall. We know their starting lineup is very, very good when they're all healthy and all that. But getting that rhythm back, we just saw this Cavs team go toe-to-toe with, who was it, the 76ers in their last meeting? Yeah, the 76ers. They went toe-to-toe, leading all game until the fourth quarter, but the 76ers took over. So give me the Cavs minus the 4 here. Not ready to kind of bet and re-believe in this Raptors team that once again has to form back that chemistry with Fred VanVleet back on the floor. He's missed too many games here, and they've been all over the place without him in the starting lineup. So Cavs minus 4. This Cavs team ready to reassert their dominance after the All-Star break and prove that they truly should be talked about as one of the top tier teams in the Eastern Conference. So give me the Cavs minus 4 points. Absolutely. I think that's fantastic value. See, we're building here. Don't need to reach for the Jazz minus 13.5 when the Cavs minus 4 is really kind of better value. Absolutely. All right, final 2 games. What else do we got on tap tonight? Here we go. Next game up is the Pelicans at the Nuggets. Pelicans, oh, baby. Woo! Vegas is still sleeping on the Pelicans. What the hell is up with this? Truly, what the hell is up with this? They were just only plus 4 against the Jazz in their last meeting, and now they're plus 3.5 against the Nuggets? What is up with that? I gave Vegas credit for respecting the Pelicans by making them only plus 4 against the Jazz. Only plus 4. They really could have been. It could have been like Pelicans plus 8 overall. So the fact that it's only Pelicans plus 3.5 here, folks, where's the respect by Vegas? This should be, for respectful value of the Pelicans, it really should be Pelicans like minus 5 here. Damn, but I'll take this value. Let's check the ins and outs here to make sure we're not getting snagged anyway. But yeah, everybody's good to go for the Pelicans. What the hell? And then for the Nuggets, Jokic is a game time decision. So I'm definitely assuming Jokic's playing if they've got him at Nuggets minus 3.5. This is absolutely absurd, folks. So, yeah, Pelicans plus 3.5, folks. Do we not need to remind you of what we just said a few days ago, folks? Let me get it up here. We put this out on March 4th, and I think we said this that same day on the show. So, March 4th, we said don't sleep on the Mavs or Pelicans, especially when betting. That night, the Mavericks hit the Mavericks minus 1.5. The following night, the Pelicans were plus 4 against the Jazz. We took that. They won by like 30. We once again reiterated it. Don't sleep on the Mavs or Pelicans, especially when betting. And now here we are again getting Pelicans plus points. Are you absolutely out of your gourd out here, folks? Now, I will give y'all credit. You are betting the points here because we get Pelicans plus 3.5 at minus 115 instead of kind of the base 110. So yeah, y'all are taking that value, so y'all are smartening up. But what the hell is going on with Vegas? Vegas, why are you not smartening up here? The hell is going on? So thank you for the great value. Pelicans plus 3.5. You bet your bippy on that. Pelicans plus 3.5. That's the best value all day long. All day long. Yeah. Pelicans plus 3.5. Holy moly. Sheesh. That's folks, it's fantastic. Man, that's great value. Holy cow. All right, here we go. Let's finish it off here on the last game of the night. We get the Knicks at the Clippers. Knicks +5, Clippers -5. All righty. Knicks, once again, if y'all have been paying attention to the show, folks, the Knicks are our sponsor, but it's betting against the Knicks is what our true sponsorship is here. So, Clippers -5, we will absolutely take that. Everybody's good to go for the Knicks, and then for the Clippers, just the usual suspects out, Norman Powell, Paul George. So, this Clippers team, they're dogs, folks. This is a true dog team. So this Knicks team, they fall off in the fourth quarter, where we see this Clippers team closing out games in the fourth quarter. And this Clippers team can kind of beat the mediocre-ish teams. They can't really compete with the upper echelon teams because they don't have that superstar. It's unfortunate, but the Knicks, they're not a playoff team or anything like that. So yeah, the Clippers should have no problem taking care of business of this team. This Knicks team, they are clamoring for a win. I mean, these last couple of games that they've played, the 76ers twice, winning in the first half, beefing it in the fourth quarter, beating the Suns until Cameron Johnson with 2 seconds left, it was a buzzer beater, but throws it up with 2 seconds left and it wins the game. So this Knicks team has truly suffered heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. So they are due for a win, but until it happens, I'm not going to be, conservative waiting for them to win a game. It's not gonna happen. So bet against the Knicks. Our partnership, our sponsorship with the Knicks. Clippers -5. They should have no problem here. Knicks are not a good team, folks. They are just not a good team. That's all it is. So give me the Clippers -5. Alrighty, so yeah, great value tonight, folks. Filled up our bet slip, and we got 6 great picks. We bet every single nationally televised game today, which is fantastic, and we didn't force anything, and that's really great. I did want to bet all the kind of nationally televised games, but we didn't force any. These are all good values, folks, all across the board. So here they are, one final time. We are taking the Celtics -6, Kyrie Irving over 2.5 3-pointers made, and we're taking that because it's great value at +115. Love it. We're taking the Bucks -8.5. Once again, maybe wait a little bit till it goes. I could definitely see this going down to Bucks -8, maybe even 7.5. So maybe wait a little bit for the spread to keep going down, but Bucks -8.5, we're taking it. Cavs -4, Pelicans +3.5 is the best value of the night, folks. And then the Clippers -5 to close out this gorgeous, great value betting NBA Sunday today, folks. Sheesh, absolutely fantastic. Alrighty, folks. All right, we got 4 minutes. 4 minutes, folks. We got to get out of here. 4 minutes before the Nets at Celtics tips off, and it's going to be absolutely wonderful. Watch the game. Watch how dominant and great the Celtics are, folks. Celtics -6. Vegas is telling you with this spread, folks, that the Celtics will win this game in dominating fashion. Celtics -6. Absolutely loving it. Alrighty, so we are going to get out of here so we can get prepared to watch that game, sit down and watch that game, and then roll into an entire day of NBA basketball. So, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. We are back live tomorrow, noon Eastern, breaking down this glorious NBA Sunday that we all just witnessed, cashing in those tickets, and talking about whatever happens between today and tomorrow, and we will get back on track with our NFL final thoughts coming up tomorrow as well. So, have an absolute great one. Enjoy the NBA Sunday, and we will see y'all tomorrow, folks.